Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Dennis, and today I'm hosting Naomi. She's my colleague. We are working in the same organization, and I met her one day in one of the devotion that we have as Baha'is, and I requested if I can have a conversation with her, and I believe this conversation is going to be one of the beautiful conversations. So we'll be talking about random stuff, life, about women, children, youth, anything, historical facts, anything that she's willing to talk about. So welcome, Naomi.
Thank you, Dennis.
Maybe you can introduce yourself.
Sure. First of all, and thank you for inviting me. I don't know exactly what we're talking about today, but I'm excited to see. My name's Naomi, as you mentioned, and I come from the United States. That's where I was born and raised. I'm the child of two parents who are from Ethiopia. They came to the U.S. in their youth and then had their children and raised their children there. Before I came here, I was living and working in New York City, and I had just finished my studies and then doing work and service there. And I've been living here for 5 years, and so we've been this month actually. So yeah.
I think I've been here for 9 years, I guess.
Oh, you beat me.
I know. So have you ever traveled to Ethiopia?
Yes, I've gone a few times. Okay. So I remember the first time I went, I was 7 years old.
You don't remember much about
I
that?
remember. I remember because I cried a lot. It was my first time meeting my grandma from my mother's mother.
Yeah.
And I also remember really missing my dad because my mom and we traveled together. Yeah. And I remember it was so funny. I don't speak the language. So
I was going to ask you the next thing.
Exactly. I don't speak Amharic.
Yeah.
So I remember I had all these books with me.
Yes.
And I was just reading these books. I was like a nerd. My family, they probably were like, who is this American girl? Just came here all the way just to read these books.
Yeah.
Yes. But I'm very grateful. And then since then, I've gone a few times. I went once or twice to visit my dad. He had moved there when I was in high school later. And then my mother was visiting Ethiopia and got sick. So I traveled there to visit her. And then
I remember that.
Yeah. It was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like yesterday, you know?
Yeah. It's crazy how the time flies, really. I'm sure you feel that way being here for 9 years. You didn't
It's like 9 days, I can't lie.
Exactly. And a lot happened in those 9 days.
I mean, you learn a lot when in a foreign country, because normally in your own country there's kind of feeling comfortable, so you don't see that much. And then when you go to a foreign country, you kind of start learning how other people view things. And one of the basic, like, I can call it magic of Baha'i World Center for me is the fact that we are coming from different cultures, and each one of us have different way of doing things.
Yes.
And then you meet together, and that kind of you find a way to work to work on things that maybe in your culture is wrong, but their culture is right, and you have to let many things go. So in Ethiopia, what is your favorite food?
My favorite food is called shuro. It's like this ground chickpea. So have you had it before? Have you had Ethiopian food?
Not really, but I've seen people having it.
You have to go before you leave. There's a restaurant.
In Adar?
Yes.
I see a lot of people going there, yeah.
Yes, no, but it's very good. It's like a simple like sauce, and then you eat it with the injera, and it's like a comfort food. When I was actually one of the things from my trip when I was 7, all the relatives, they laughed and they talked about me because I would sing a song about the food, the shuro, because I loved it so much. So then years later, they would bring it up, like, oh, is that...
Do you remember this?
Yes, do you remember this? I was like, oh my gosh.
You're young and innocent, I guess.
Exactly. Yes, silly, but it was, How about, have you ever traveled outside of, you're from Kenya, before you came here, had you ever traveled?
No, I only knew Kenya. I mean, there's this stupid thing. It was always in my mind. I always thought that people from different countries, they don't look the same as us. So that was when I was in primary school. So if someone is from Uganda or Tanzania, I had this imagination of like maybe these guys have an eye somewhere differently. Maybe they're not the same as us.
Yes.
But as you grow older, when the television thing came on, now you can see people from Tanzania, you can see people from Uganda, and then you're like, oh, these guys are just the same as us. Yeah, I didn't travel anywhere. So Israel was my first country to travel to. And then later on I traveled to Georgia, which is also a different experience.
Very different, yes.
Yeah, so I haven't traveled that much though.
Yes.
So I want to know something about you. So apart from your education and your background and all this thing, what's so special that you think like, this is me if someone wants to define you?
That's wow.
So like for example, one of the things that I always find it difficult is like we always try to define people according to their achievement, right?
Yes.
So if you meet someone asks you, so tell me about yourself. So that I have masters in this, I've done this job, this is where I come from.
Yes.
But the question for me is always like, okay, apart from those, I'm Baha'i, I'm religious, on this kind of stuff. What else are you,
Yes.
Who's that human inside? Like, what are those qualities that you can say, okay, even though they say, if people usually say, you don't define yourself or you don't give yourself things because other people see it. But for me, it's always like deep down, you know who you are, right? So I'm like, I'm kind, all this kind of stuff. This is what I've done through my life and this is what I see. So do you have like a little story about yourself?
I think something I would say is I'm a very curious person.
It killed the cat,
But it gave me life, okay? So I think if I were to define or try to describe something about myself outside of my quote unquote accomplishments or the things that maybe are more visible, I would say curiosity. And I think that's something that so thinking about something, how I might describe myself outside of what is obvious or more apparent, I would say curiosity. From a young age, I remember my dad would always really encourage that, and that was just like a culture that existed. And I feel like in my life, in many ways, that's led to really beautiful experiences and things. Yeah.
If someone talks about curiosity, for me, I'm like, when I was young, I was always eager to know what is inside the radio.
Really, actually.
So I'm like, okay, so I have to break down the radio.
Is that how you also ended up doing your training?
Yeah, those kind of stuff, right?
Exactly.
So it's like lead to something else, and it's just beautiful. Like if you're curious, sometimes it leads to good things, sometimes it leads to bad stuff.
Yeah, so you have to be smart.
You have to be smart to choose which one is which.
Yes.
So it's just for me, is one of the ways of expression.
Yes.
Like you keep on looking. I think in By Faith you say like you have to search for the truth for yourself and read all this kind of. For me, it's like kind of being curious, like what is that and what is this, and it helps a lot, Yeah. So someone told me you are championing women a lot. I asked the same question to my previous person that I was interviewing, and it's just she gave an example which was beautiful for me. She said that because my point was that since feminism started, a lot of things have gone south. That was my argument.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that was that yes, in early 1960s, when there was this Vietnam War and all this kind of stuff, a lot of men went for war, and a lot of industries needed people to work. So that's why women decided to go to these industries, and they were working, and then they started getting paid, and they started supporting their family because there was no men in the society, right? So when men came back, they did something which was not good. They started taking back their jobs, right? So women went back to being house help and those kind of stuff. But just that experience of working and having your own pay it started a fire inside these women, realizing, oh, actually we can do much better, we can do the same as men, which was a very good thing, right? So you want someone to be independent, you want all this kind of stuff. But now, as time went by, it has been diluted. Instead of having the same goal of, okay, we are all we have to support the family, all this kind of stuff, and equality, all this kind of things. But now you find that it has led to people not getting married. It has led to a lot of people young people are saying, I don't want to get married to this kind of person because she's not a traditional lady. And you find a lot of men having this other argument, women having this argument. Is like, I earn more than the person who I'm currently dating. I don't want to get dating a person who is less earning than I am. So my question to her was like, okay, what was your view on this kind of thing? And she was like, she gave an example of a house, and she was saying that if a house has a foundation and then suddenly there's an earthquake, that earthquake shakes the foundation of that house, right? And in that shaking, there's a lot of things that go wrong in those kind of stuff. Even though you're trying, when it's broken, you don't try to mend it, try to make a new foundation. So instead of making a new foundation, what happens is like people they're trying to amend the previous house to stand. And that's why, and she was saying that's why you can see this extreme in both sides. So I don't know, what's your view on this kind of thing?
Yeah, it's interesting, this perspective on, I don't know that I would agree with this idea that feminism is the reason why all these things are going. You know?
So what's your idea?
No. I mean, because I do think like this idea that a lot of things that maybe we have accepted as normal for a long time are being challenged. And that's, I think, a very painful process for many people.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I think, we're living in a time when I think there's a lot of like statistics and things that show that like women are being more educated, right? Like, and maybe there's certain ways that they're able to accomplish certain things that previously were out of reach for them, right? They wouldn't have access to higher education or these things, but now they're doing it and they're going far. But then I think what maybe is happening at the same time is there's a lot of men who feel like they're being left behind.
True.
And then that's creating this tension and these things where maybe, you end up with this almost clashes of ideology or things. So I don't know, in terms of what I think, I feel like there's probably so much that we would need to explore and understand, because there's so many things that contribute to it. But I do think there's like the way it is today probably isn't the way it should be or it's going to be, because people, both men and women, are experiencing like they have to work together ultimately, right? To your point, people need to be able to contribute, whether it be like in families or communities. They need to be able to see that each person has a contribution to make. Yeah,
that's true.
We can't see each other as, oh, I can do it by myself, but then I guess something that I've been trying to understand more and more, because I think I've had different periods where I've maybe thought of certain things in one way, but I'm trying to understand, like, what does it mean to respect the contribution of everyone?
Okay.
So then, like, if, for example, in a home, there is a couple.
My home.
Yeah, your home. We can bring your wife and ask her some questions. No. If there was a couple, how is it that they're able to both see that the other person has this like contribution to make, whether it be in their thoughts, in their actions, whatever, and that together they're able to maybe address the questions that are facing their family, whether it be working, raising children, like that, and not to say that there's a certain assumption that this person does this thing, this person does that thing, is just to be able to say, whatever we have to do, we will do it. And maybe one person does more of one thing at a different point in life, whether it's raising the children or these types of ideas, but to see the value in that and to respect all of those contributions. Because I think one thing is that women went to work. You said they went to work and they saw oh, I can earn, I can do these things. But the other is they also were given an opportunity to express different parts of themselves. And
True.
what we've kind of come to, I think, as a culture that's maybe creating a lot of this tension is that we've made salary and earning to be the value of a person.
And that's what I was asking. Apart from those things, how do you like describe yourself?
Exactly.
Right? So,
Yeah. But then what happens? No, if we say that the person who earns money has more value
than the person doesn't earn,
and then they're seen as less than, they don't maybe contribute, or their opinion or their contributions aren't as valuable as the person who's earning, and those dynamics can affect at many levels, right?
True. I always ask myself, like, there's a lot of groups around the world which are championing equality between men and women. My question is always that equality, does it get close to equity, or is
equity? Yeah, I mean, when say more, like when it, like in terms of equity, in what sense?
So for me, like, for example, if someone says, let's go back to the common issues that most of the people have, is always about money, right? So someone says, I want to get married to someone who has either same amount of money or less amount of money. I'll tell you, for men, we actually don't really put so much, let's say, we don't concentrate so much how much a woman earns.
A woman earns, you mean?
So for men, it's more of like, if a man earns, let's say, 100 three-figure kind of payment, and a woman earns 2-figure, these men will still marry her, right? But now is the vice versa. If a woman is earning 3-figure, she'll be like, I want someone who earns either same as me or more than me. But now the question goes to, as you talk about marriage, because in marriage, there's a lot of things. Because there's equality where all of you guys are equal, but there's something of equity. So if someone is more, is there a way to bring them at the same level, right? So, and that's what men usually do. So men, in terms of men, I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just trying to talk in general. Is like, if I get married to a woman who's earning less, and I'm earning more, what I'll do, I'll try to raise a standard to be in the same level with me, right? So I won't be looking at, oh, she's less than me because she's not earning more, or she's less than me because I'm more educated than her. And in reality, you find that men who are more educated, they usually go for women who are not the same level, right? So they can get married to anyone, basically. But women who are more educated, you'll be like, okay, I want someone with the same with me or higher than me. But if they get married who is lower than them, they always remind them all the time, right? That kind
I
of
don't
thing.
know. Is that reality or is that a perception? You know,
I can, because I have some friends.
You have examples?
Yes.
Okay.
Who got married to someone who is higher than them.
A man.
Yeah, and every time they have back and forth, she reminds him all the time. It's like, just not have something.
Oh, okay.
You know, but you find, like, for example, for men, most of the time, they're okay, right? So that's what always hates me. Is like, so either we are looking the word equality in a wrong way, or definition is wrong, and there's a proper definition of equality, or we are just don't know what we're actually talking about.
Yeah.
You know?
I think we're all very confused, actually. I don't know if we're all, but I think there's a lot of confusion around what actual equality means in practice, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I don't think we have many examples of true equality.
I haven't seen one.
You know? And at the level of like systems and structures, there's a lot of inequality that's actually just built into that. So then we have a lot of work to do actually in our personal relationships to try to create more equal, because I think it's important to just like mention that I don't know that equality means people being the same. No, it doesn't.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah,
I don't think
I don't think equality means that two people are doing the exact same thing in the same way, because we're different also.
Of course we are different.
You know? So how can we expect?
And that's my questions. Like when you look at the definition of what people are following, outside the way things are going, it's kind of that. It's like we are equal, right? So it's like, okay, yes, we have physical difference, but people don't think about that. They always think like we are all equals. I want everything equal, but in reality, we have a lot of things which are we're not equal, but we're kind of equal. You know, that kind of thing. It's like, okay, so for me, I'll think of equality in terms of, if you want to balance the world, I think of equality in terms of education, in terms of like, for example, opportunities, having the same opportunities, in terms of like everything that we can all access. And what differentiates is like qualification, right? So if you're qualified, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, right? So you get the job. Or if it's opportunities in any kind of field, both genders get the opportunity to do it. But the way the world is going is more of like, I'm equal, like that kind of thing. So even though if you look at statistically, they kind of from 1990s to now, the access to education to women has really increased, right? So from previous generation, from 2000 to 2025, you see like the opportunities for women getting education is much more, and there's still a lot of people taking advantage or this kind of stuff, but just in comparison, there's been more opportunities for women, right? But at the same time, there's a lot of people do a lot of bad things, right? So the system is not as clean as you may want it to be. But the point of just people giving that girl child opportunity to grow. Because in the same discussion that we had, there's this thing of early marriages, and I know it always affects most parts of Africa, and some Arab countries, and because I saw another clip, I think just today. A 14-year-old girl getting married to someone who's 74, 69.
74.
Yeah. In I think in Iraq, if I'm not wrong. So you can see these things happen, right? So there's a lot of things which are still not correct, which are not right.
And that's like that's quite an extreme example. But then I'm sure there's, things that are less egregious or less offensive that also are like manifestations probably of similar inequality. One thought I had maybe before we move on, you were sharing this point about education and access, and it was reminding me once actually I had taken a course, I was studying something, and it was actually looking, they had done some research to see in the context of working, like they saw that men who were married earned more. It was actually no. This wait for me, okay? Men who were married earned more, and it was marriage was actually a positive thing to their career. So it would show that there was like studies done that showed that it would equal to greater earning over the course of one's career.
Interesting.
Women who were married, it was actually a negative on their earning potential over the course of their career. And it's so interesting because it's so subtle. It was probably a reflection of the fact that someone sees a married woman and thinks this woman will have children, she will leave the workforce. I'm not going to employ her, or I'm not going to invest resources in her. Any number of things that are subtle. They're not always going to be obvious, but it's like subconsciously these things come out in, I think, interesting ways. I don't know. So that's just...
I saw the same thing. Someone was talking about it actually. I don't remember where. They're saying that the same statistic I think you're talking about was that women tend to earn less close to their retirement, like they have less retirement than men. So in terms of getting their retirement package. And someone was saying is because women tend most of the time, because of their, I don't know, there's a lot of things happen. So one of them is if she is married, she will go for maternity leave and they don't get payment for that full maternity leave. There's other things that they get along with, they don't get payment for. So if you have 5 days, women tend to work 3 days in a week compared to 5 days in a week, which men work more days in a week. But the thing is that when they're not working, there's no compensation
in that
package,
way. Yeah,
right?
in that, yeah.
So the men will tend to earn more because of that. And that's why I say we are not really equal. There's physical structures that differentiate between men and women, right? So for men, we don't have so many things that will make us not go to work, right? So we don't get pregnant. So it won't be like, hey, I'm not going to work. Why? I'm pregnant. No, it won't happen, right? So I'll continue working.
Yes.
For women, when they get pregnant, there's sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work, because there's a lot of things which affect during that period.
Of course.
Now, there's nothing that compensates that period of time.
Yeah.
And because of that, their salary or their earning go very low, right? Compared to men. And maybe they have to take 3 years off their career to take care of the children.
Yeah.
And I don't know, this kind of stuff really happens. The question is like, how do you compensate that kind of situation? It's a difficult one.
Yeah, and that's why I was thinking it's actually at the level like, so like one is between in a family, how they are able to together look at things as a whole. So not to see, oh, she earns this, he earns this, but it's like, okay, as a family, we're facing life together. But then at the level of like structures or how, that's why like there's a lot I think that needs to be done to see how to support families or, these types of questions. Anyways, you were gonna bring something else.
No, because I think you have more.
No, I don't have more. Are
you sure? Nothing is burning?
Nothing is burning. Nothing is burning.
So tell me something that I don't know about you.
I don't know. I mean, you don't know that much about me.
So maybe 2 things.
2 things.
Yeah. Maybe that people don't know about you and you wish people to know about you.
Oh, they don't need to know anything. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not very interesting. I'm trying to see. How about you tell me something I don't know about you, and maybe that will inspire me and I can think of something to share.
Okay. I like talking a lot.
That's why you bought all these microphones?
I mean, the story of this podcast, a lot of people have been asking me, how did I start it? So during the war, no, just before the war, I think, this TikTok thing was coming up a lot, right? So, and I like music. I'm also a DJ in the background. So I bought a small controller. Okay. And my point was like, okay, so I just want to go online on TikTok, have conversation with people. Yeah. And if someone requests a song, I play the song for you. And you share your story. Like, tell me your story. Yes. Tell me, apart from your papers and all this kind of stuff, just be who you are. Like, who are you? Right? So that was my point. It was like, I want to go online, just share, people sharing their story. I don't want to talk about politics because it's affecting a lot of people. I don't want to talk about things that are negative. I don't want to talk about religion because sometimes it's very sensitive. I just want to have this normal conversation with people. Yeah. And then I think a week after I bought the DJ stuff, there was a war. And then the government of Israel, they decided to turn off the live. So in TikTok, you couldn't go live anymore.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize.
Yeah. So the thing of my turntable, it was useless. So one day I was in the office. There's this friend of mine. His name is Wayne. He saw me with the turntable and he's like, okay, you love music? I'm like, yeah. I want to share my happiness. But unfortunately, where I wanted to share it in TikTok, it has been closed. Like, so I can do a live thing. Yeah. And I was like, oh, you can bring people and just have conversation. I was like, sure, but I don't have anything. Like, I don't have microphones. I don't have audio recording. I don't have a camera. I don't have nothing. Yes. So how am I going to do this? So he offered me a small audio. And he's like, okay, so, and he gave me 2 of his microphones.
Is that what we're using now?
No. Oh. So my first podcast was with what was his name? No, my first podcast was with Wayne. So the guy who gave me.
Oh, nice. Cool.
So we came and we were talking. He talked about medicine. He talked about music, how he got into music.
Sure.
Basically, he was just sharing about himself, right? So
Some-
apart from, like what I was saying, apart from people knowing you as a maybe a teacher or a doctor or this kind of stuff, the other side of you, like the real human, right? So if you meet in a coffee table, what are you gonna talk about?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And when I heard that podcast, something came into my mind. I'm like, so maybe there's a lot of people here by World Center who would like to share their stories. I just want to capture stories.
Nice.
So I was like, okay, so anybody want to have stories, we can have this kind of story. So I had several people in the podcast. Most of them were sharing the best stories, which I loved so much.
Yes.
And we had some different discussions, and it just developed and it grew. And me and my wife, we are like, okay, so we don't want to talk about a lot of things about religious because that's what people know, right?
Yes.
I just want to know the person.
Yes.
And then I started having this different kind of people. And it's just amazing to have them in the podcast. Like, I learn every time I talk to someone. Like today, I've learned something about you.
Yeah.
Like a very strong champion of women.
No, you said that when I came. You brought that one first. You had that idea already.
Because Ayamba told me that you guys were three of you, Nia's wife,
Neda, yeah.
Neda, and someone else.
Badi, probably.
Badi,
The four of us.
and Ayamba, and you guys, we could have this discussion.
We could talk, yeah.
So I was like, probably I should meet Naomi and see her view on different things.
Yeah.
So I know this is the first podcast, so it's a little bit hard for you to talk.
No, it's good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm fine. I can talk.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, so we just have this first conversation.
Yeah, no, it's very nice.
And we can just talk about anything that you like to talk about, Even though I drive the conversation.
No,
there's no questions, right?
Yeah. It's interesting. I told you, I'm curious. So I'm actually just learning about you. I'm interviewing you. No.
Yeah, because I don't have a way of having questions. Because for me, questions create limits. So if I come with a question in a paper, I'll ask you the question, then you'll answer it.
And then
I'll
it's
be like,
done.
okay, next. You know?
Yeah.
I want to have conversation with someone in a way that natural.
Yes.
Like having a coffee or something. Yeah. So that's why I was like, okay, me.
Yeah.
You can talk about different things. Yeah.
And your story, actually, when you're telling me about how you started doing this, and even this idea you had of like buying the controller and these things, it reminded me of a story I can tell you.
Okay.
So when I after I had finished university, I had this desire. I wanted to learn how to DJ.
Really?
Yes, really.
That's something that I didn't know about you.
Exactly. See, I'm telling you. So I bought a controller. I had I bought a controller. There was a record store in New York City where there was like this old school hip hop DJ. DJ Melstar was his name, and he would teach classes on Saturday. So I actually like registered for classes, and I would go like, I don't remember how many. It was like either 4 weeks or 8 weeks, and I'd go every Saturday morning, and I would take classes at this record store. And then I was practicing. I had my digital crates. I was trying to mix stuff. Wow. I would spend a lot of time. I had this idea that I was going to be a DJ. I was like, and then life happens and I realized I can enjoy this, but I don't necessarily, it's not going to be the thing that I
want to pursue as a career.
And I wasn't necessarily thinking of it as a career, but I was thinking that it would probably just be something that I would develop as a craft and do more of. But then I thought, who knows? Maybe the next phase of life, you might see me on TikTok going. Yeah, but no. So that was a fun experience. I remember, and then I DJ'd twice. I remember the first time I DJ'd, my cousins had just moved into. They had moved into a new apartment, and they were gonna have like a kind of
house party.
Exactly. And the housewarming, and they're like, "Oh, can you DJ for you're learning? Come, free. The baby cousin, she can come and do it." So I went, and I remember the way it was set up. I was like facing a wall. It wasn't even like I was at a table. It was like my back was to the party, and I was just mixing and stuff. But it was fun. It was a good time. How long have you've been doing for a long time? You've been.
Yeah, I didn't go to school to learn it.
Of course, no. I mean, I didn't go to. This is like me trying to figure it out.
Yeah, the point is like, I was just doing it as a hobby, and then later on, in Africa, you look for a job. Sometimes you don't have a job, so you have to do some different
things.
stuff. So, I started doing it as a hobby, like this kind of, when people die in Kenya, they used to, I don't know if they still do the same thing. You guys celebrate at night.
Oh, you have a party.
So we could go. We call them disco matangas. Like matanga is a funeral. So you guys go at night. You have this DJ with big sound system.
Oh my goodness.
And you guys just listen to music for partying all night, And I used to go to those kind of stuff. And then later on, I learned more how to do them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started DJing in clubs, slowly in parties, all these kind of things over time. That's why I got into it. And then it just became normal for me.
Yeah.
And because I love music.
Yeah.
Naturally, I just love music.
Yeah.
Like if I listen to all types of music. So I was like, oh, maybe I can just do this as part-time, or because I don't think about it,
Yeah. Do you listen to D'Angelo?
Yeah.
You heard the news that he passed away
Yes.
recently? Very
sad.
Yeah.
There's also someone in Kenya who passed away. Our former prime minister passed away on Wednesday this week.
Wow.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's how I got into music. And then I'm like, okay, I didn't look at it as a career. I was just like, if I get opportunities, like a side hustle kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like if things go wrong, you
can always fall back on it.
Yeah, I gotta fall back. I was like, this way I'm gonna start again. Things have gone wrong, and that's why I started it. But later on, he followed me here. I used to party here too. My best customer was what's her name? Candice.
Oh my goodness. You should interview her next.
Yeah, she's my best customer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They used to have like birthday parties, wedding parties, all this kind of stuff. But I think Corona destroyed everything. But
the culture changed, huh?
Yeah, culture change. It's like a kind of normal thing in society. It's like a lot of things change, sometimes real quick, sometimes very slow.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what happened here,
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I got into music. But later on, I was like, I can, because I love music, so I was like, I can learn how to play guitar.
Yeah, and you play well.
I taught myself.
So nice. I've been teaching myself for a long time. I'm still teaching.
Kind of teaching.
Exactly. It's taking me some time.
Because I can't sing, so I can only do, just play them. I can't really sing. And then I taught myself how to play violin.
Violin?
Yeah, it's at the beginning it was really noisy. Squeal like a cockroach or something.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
A little bit of piano. I know a little bit of keys. Yeah. Then nowadays I'm really lazy. Apart from doing podcasts, not that much actually. Just podcast editing and this. Like it gives me joy talking to people.
Yes. Like
different people. I know at the beginning it's kind of tension to someone, but as time goes by, you find like it's just story. Like this for me is, I'm not interviewing you. It's not that I'm gonna ask you, so tell me.
Really?
So that's what really happened.
The drama. You can do like dramatic cuts.
Okay. No, that kind of stuff. It's just like having a conversation, knowing your background. Some people like sharing stories. I realize you are not very good at sharing stories, but you share stories. Yeah, people share stories. Some people, like, I've had someone in my podcast who just want to talk about mental health and is really deep into mental health.
Yeah.
I gave them opportunity, right? So I'm like, okay. Because sometimes some people see that way as a way of passing information, It's easier. Because people have a lot of, like, sometimes when you stay in your room, you're like, if I have a chance to tell people things,
Yes.
And then opportunity arises, you're like, I'm going to grab it.
This is my chance. Yeah. It's my moment.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Always.
Okay, thank you so much, Naomi. Maybe we need 2 hours.
Yeah, maybe we need to meet again.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Thank you so much for coming, actually. I enjoyed talking to you, though.
Yes.
Maybe one day, one time, before I leave, we can have one more podcast.
Yes, we can bring Candace next time. She can tell a story and I can help her.
That would be beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
I hope I'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing them.
No, and thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. I thought I talked a lot for sure.
I liked it. I was happy to hear it.
Okay.
Thank you, Dennis.